Joel, what's yours? Start us off.
I was dating a policewoman. We'd been dating for a bit and we were waiting for the right moment to have sex. And we'd waited quite a while and we were like, because it was really important to us, right? We'd sort of set this date. We were like, this is the date. I think we should do it that night.
That's
right?
lovely.
It's Squaresville.
And that day, I was at my friend's house and he was like, oh, I'll tell you what you should do to have the best sex of your life. And I was like, what? And he said, you should take Viagra. It will, like, just make your night incredible. And so I took this Viagra and I had to pick her up from the police station.
And you said, I've got a truncheon as well.
And she gets in the car on the way home. She goes, I've got some really bad news. And she said, oh, I'm on my period. So tonight, our night is not going to happen. Is that OK? And obviously, I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely fine. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, no, that's not fine at all. We get home and we start watching Netflix. We're in bed. I've got my laptop just on top of my boxer shorts. And we start watching a Nazi documentary. And we're watching it, it's like, I'm saying, it's like the height of the war. And I just start to get one of the most aggressive boners I've ever had in my entire life. It's almost as if my penis is doing a Nazi salute. And there's no way of hiding it. It's just literally there. It's now a table for my laptop. And it's there, and she's like, OK, this guy's really into this stuff. And so I never had sex with her.
So you admit it didn't happen?
No.
It scared her off?
It scared her off for many different reasons.
Joel, when your penis is erect, does it hang to the left or the far right?
Joel, thank you very much.
I'm really sorry.
I really should have done some research before coming on this programme, darling.
I know.
These sorts of stories.
I'm going to be very good details.
All right, my love.
Once upon a time, there lived a horrible man. He was a wrong one. He had a sports car, like a vintage car collection, and then he would just park it outside your drive, block you in. A really nasty bugger. And nasty to animals. I won't go into any details, I don't upset anyone. But...
Fucked a pig.
This is the final straw. He laughed at my Peugeot 406.
Oh.
So we went on a day's fishing trip and we had quite a good haul. 78 mackerel.
Oh, nice.
A conger eel about this high off the floor.
What's a conger eel?
A conger eel is...
It goes...
Got back to the house.
Go on.
And we started drinking and cooking up the fish and chopping up the and taking the heads off and the tails off and the fins off and the guts and the entrails. And so we had this massive black bin bag of guts and entrails and blood and head and eyes and this. And we didn't have a council food waste bin in those days. So we emptied it all through the open sunroof.
So what was the comeback?
I have no idea what happened. As we did it, I mean, halfway through the bin bag, we regretted it, to be honest. But it was too late by that point. You can't go on with half a bin bag full. I mean, that's evidence.
This reminds me, actually, it's funny, it reminds me of a story. My uncle, he's really lovely, he's a really good bloke.
Yeah.
He went to somewhere near you and to open an orphanage, and somebody put loads of fish in his car.
I mean, the one detail I kept held back was that this guy was a paedophile.
So was my uncle.
I was about 6 or 7 and me and my brother were really, really into Famous 5 books, Secret 7 books.
Good.
We just wanted to be detectives.
Yeah.
And we lived in South East London, so there was crime. We thought that we'd get some walkie-talkies. As soon as we got our walkie-talkies, we were like, right, we're on the beat. We started just following people home. Just following people home. me and my brother side by side as well, which is not the point of walkie-talkie. Communicating like
Really close.
Do you see them? Do you see the suspect? And it's like, yeah, I see the just there. So that's stalking. So I'm a piece of shit for that. And then one day we were walking down our estate and we saw a border collie dog.
Timmy the dog from Famous Five?
Not quite.
No.
Different time.
OK.
And also fiction.
Good.
And the dog was perfectly fine in its front garden of its home. But me and my brother were convinced that this dog was lost. So we took the dog. And this time we'd worked out how walkie-talkies work. So I had the dog like that, and my brother was on the other side of the Worth Road, and I was going up to people going, "Is this your dog?" And they were like, "No." And I'd be like, "Shh, negative, this isn't their dog." And then, so we just did that for a few hours, and then we thought, oh, we can't find the owners of the dog. So we returned the dog back to its home. We saw the whole family, including the kids, crying. Of
course they were.
Like, where's our dog? They're like, oh, where's Stuart? So me and my brother turn up with Stuart the dog. And they were like, oh, my God, you found Stuart, you found him. Oh, my God, thank you so much. We'll walk you home. And we were like, yeah, that was our first case. Wow.
Lovely, lovely Tanya, laughing away, having a great time. I couldn't help noticing, Tanya, after reading some of your stories, you do come across as a bit of a big bully bollocks.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, no way. I think when I was little, I had some problems. When I was little.
Great, Tanya, my love. You're sitting amidst a pair of absolute sordid old horrors. What have you got? What have you got?
I've got a story about when I was in college. I did performing arts course, no way. And I despised my course teacher.
What's her name?
Babes, listen, I don't know if I got that money.
What's so bad about her?
Well, she just didn't like me, and I don't know what it was. It might be that I didn't like her. But we had this, like, headbutting thing.
Yeah.
Basically, they got a little office next to the big drama room. But in her office, she would bring in her little pet ferrets. Right?
I feel like the sort of people that keep ferrets just only believe in a flannel wash. Do you know what I mean? Like,
See?
they've got that vibe, yeah.
There was 2 of them in the cage.
Oh.
Yeah, and she would leave them in there every now and again,
Yes.
go and do the classes, and
Yep.
come back, right? So on one of the occasions, I just snuck into the office and opened the cage.
Wow.
Which, yeah, if you're impressed by that, I'm scared of animals. Listen, I was there for ages. I was like, ah! It was a long time. But I opened it, then I went back into the room like nothing happened. Right? And then we could only find one.
Oh, dear.
No. Best bit of college.
Wow.
Is there anything in Ferret Schoolers' Day off?
Yeah, it's worth just throwing out there. Thank you, Tanya.
We were at the Edinburgh Festival. I used to stay in a flat, and me and my friend Steve thought it'd be really funny. We were with Tom Allen, and we'd just pour in a bit of water on people from the 3rd floor up
Right.
on the street. Just a tiny bit. And so what would happen is you'd pour it on their head, they'd look up as if it was some water or something, and they'd be like, oh, maybe it's just rain. And we'd get back in the flat and be like, this is the funniest thing ever.
Nice.
Right? Fun, right? Steve did it. It was just a little bit more water than usual.
OK.
And instead of it hitting them on the head, it just hit this guy's chips. Right in his chips. And he looked up, and we'd already gone back into the flat by that point, sniggering, laughing. We're thinking it's so funny. And then we looked back out the window. He is sat opposite the flat, just eating soggy chips. Just looking up at the window. And so we immediately just, like, turn off the lights, put the blinds down, which is obvious. It's obvious it's us. But we just sort of hide. And then 10 minutes later, we sort of check through the blinds. He's still there. And then we look out, and he's gone. And we're like, thank God, he's gone. And then about 30 seconds later, we just hear on the door downstairs, just like bang, 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 and we're like I'm panicking so much. Imagine how much Tom Allen is panicking. And then you hear like a really big like bang, as if the door's broken into.
My heart is racing.
I'm scared.
And then we hear these steps. He's like right on the other side of the door. And we hear this noise just going like and we're like, he's pissing on the door, he's pissing on the door. Oh my God, he's pissing on the door. Oh my God. And then we smell like this smell. It smells just like aerosol. And we're like, oh my God, he's gonna burn us alive.
Oh my God.
He's putting fuel on the door, we're gonna die. We're all gonna die. We're all panicking so much. And then we hear the footsteps go away. And we look on the other side of the door, and he's spray painted on our front door. I had to call the landlord the next day and just say, I'm really sorry, we got broken into. And some vandal spray painted our door for absolutely no reason at all.
That's a good one. Rod, can we have your apology, please?
I was off to the beautiful village of Portmeirion in North Wales for festival number 6.
Oh.
I thought, I'm too old to tent it and all that. We'll go luxury, right? Motorhome. 6 berth, 70 grand. We rented it off this guy called Dickens. That's his name.
It's a cracking name.
It's a cracking name. So off we go. We pull out in this pristine, brand new motorhome. Off we go. And within half an hour, I go around quite a bit of a bend. I'm driving, and the whole oven part just comes off the wall to there, and just the whole thing, Dublin, just smashes everywhere on the floor and smashes the unit of the thing. Shattered. And then we got to the festival, and, well, have you ever had a shit in a festival?
No, you can't. You have to keep it all in for as long as possible.
Oh, well, like...
I should have followed the words of the beautiful South and kept it all in. So I had it in this beautiful camper van, this motorhome, and then realised the chemical toilet wasn't working. We didn't have any water on the fluids. Anyway, we were making our way home, and the sat-nav took us down a shortcut, but it wasn't a shortcut built for 8-metre motorhome. It was far too small for the motorhome. We crash into a lorry, and the whole side of it is taken off. So we arrive back in Norton Dickens's Pride and Joy, absolutely fucked. It stinks of shit, there's glass everywhere, and the whole side of it has been taken off. We pull in, and my last memory of Norton Dickens, the last time I saw him, he was on his hands and knees, with his sleeves rolled up and his tie over his shoulder, scraping my shit into the drain. No. But that was the last time I saw him.
Oh, wow.
I do have an email.
Do you?
I do have an email.
Oh, what did he say?
Hi, Rod. Hopefully you've recovered from the traumatic experience of festival number 6.
Festival number 2, where you're concerned.
As discussed, attached to the details of the replacement parts, total breakages and extra admin costs, blah, blah, blah. Toilet emptying, 50 quid. It took him 10 minutes. And what about this for a star, right? And I do owe him an apology, because what about this? Hopefully it hasn't put you off motorhoming forever.
I'm going to have to wrong-gong you for that, because it sounds lovely. Well done, Rod. That's a wrong-gong.
My bad.
That's good.
My bad.
So, 1996, I was just starting out in television, and I was a runner to start with for a production company, and I got a job on this wonderful show called Light Lunch, which was a show on Channel 4 that I imagine many of you... Yeah.
One person.
It was a wonderful show to work on. 2 up-and-coming femme fatales of the comedy industry, I'd say, at the time.
We don't mention Sue on this show,
No,
actually.
we don't. And then we had these brilliant and raucous rap parties. So when the series finishes, everyone kind of goes out and has fun and gets a bit drunk. And our rap party was quite debauched. And... It was famous for kind of everyone kind of throwing off their kind of shackles and getting rid of any sexual tension that might have been built up through the series.
What sexual tension built up on Light Lunch?
So anyway, the rap party, long story short, everyone snogs everyone else. I end up Snogging the talent. There are big rules in TV, and one is you don't snog the talent.
Well, you say that, but she's gone all the way with Mary Berry.
I got really quiet and
So
sweaty.
this is hard, Mel, because I don't know if this is unforgivable or not.
What?
I
enjoyed it.
Yeah. You were in the.
I know.
position-
Was it
Ow.
unforgivable of me?
I feel a council coming on.
I think I was wearing pyjamas, Derms. What?
And that came later.
You probably didn't.
Did you do any hand stuff?
Oh, I
Hang on, what?
I don't remember.
We didn't do hand stuff.
I don't.
Did you do... Did you do butt stuff?
Did we do what? Butt stuff. Butt stuff? It was just good, honest 90s snogging,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
90s snogging.
90s.
It was solid British anal. Old-fashioned British anal.
I need to apologise to a lady I used to dance with. I was in this dance group and...
What was it called?
Plague.
Nice.
Love that.
Right?
Nice.
Plague.
Were you all plague-ridden? Was it that?
No, we were just poor. So, and we had a rival dance group.
What were they
and,
called?
Dark Side.
Right.
The thing is, the owner of that dance group, I used to be her dance teacher.
Right.
She left the group that I used to teach in a bad way, right?
This seems to be a recurring theme.
Mel, mind your business. And... But she used to walk around and say to people that I was a rubbish dancer.
Oh, that's not good.
So we got to this big dance competition. Now, during rehearsals, we saw her set, and we saw in her set, she had a little snippet of taking the piss out of us.
Oh, that's no good.
We saw that. So he was like, right, when the competition comes, we're going to hit her with it. Now, normally, what she does, because she's a bigger lady, what she usually wears are basketball tops from the US.
Yeah?
Because they were the only things that would fit her. And the shorts. Not in a bad way, I'm just saying that's what it was. So what we did is, we ran into Stratford, I got a basketball top, and I put 2 pillows up it, right? Then I ran onto stage.
Not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. And I mimicked what she would normally do, right? Then I ran off stage. And then we went into the changing room, and the door shut behind us, and she was there, guys! She wanted to fight me! She was so angry!
She called a rumble.
She called it!
It was like West Side Story, guys.
Yes, yeah!
Girl, girl, crazy girl. Bring out juice, girl. Girl, let's have a dance-off rumble. I love it. Oh, my God.
I felt bad because you shouldn't attack somebody's weight. That's not a nice thing to do. So what I would like to do if I saw her today is apologise for saying that about her weight. What I should have done is told the truth and said you're a shit dancer, but I didn't.
Right.
That's what I should have done.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I sort of actually do know how you feel, because when I was in the show, there was one guy in that kept sending me up, and because we're all drag queens at the time, in his pair of tights, he stuffed all this stuff down
The hips and
sides.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I naturally had big hips, and I used to tighten my arse by doing the bum walks on
Yes.
the floor. I came into the dressing room, and he sat there like this, with these huge hips, going, gung, 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 gung. Guess who I am? Guess who I am? Guess who I am?
I don't like him at all.
He's dead now. What the?
Come on out. Who can it be? Come on out. It's Kimberly, Tanya's dancing rival, everybody.
I'm glad they got you. I'm glad they got you.
Oh, my God! Also, she's bloody gorgeous. How embarrassing.
Kimberly.
Tanya's right in saying that we had these competitive dance crews. And as she explained, we'd take each other's moves and we'd make fun of them within our sets. Now, what Tanya might not know is that in Plague, there was a mole. Oh! This is for infiltration.
Oh, wow.
He danced in their crew. But what he would do is he'd take your rehearsal tapes and he'd bring them to my house.
No way! This is the best.
This is amazing, Kimberly.
So they come on stage to do their performance, and so Tanya comes out on stage, as she explained, wearing the sort of dress and the attire that I would have worn. Of course, to be able to maybe draw attention to the fact that I was a rather chunky mover. I absolutely hit the roof.
Because we knew that was a sore spot for her. At the time, it felt like it was our whole world.
Yeah.
It was everything. We couldn't see past it.
Yeah. It's really important that everybody knows that I'd never call you a shit dancer.
Oh!
I'd never do that, because I wasn't watching you.
What was the dance manoeuvre that you ripped off your rival?
Yeah.
Right, I'm ready to dance as well, for no reason.
Right, okay.
We didn't start like that. We did hip hop.
You get it.
Oh, okay. More like that.
Wait a second. I
More
can
like-
do this.
Hello.
Yes.
She's going into a windmill.
That's really good,
I'm going to throw in one of these. Yeah?
I'll throw in a Charleston.
Come on, Joel.
I'm going to get my dick out. There.
Kimberly, so good to see you. Thank you so much. Joel, there is no way around this on a show called Unforgivable. Let's get this covered early doors. You have sadly been involved in revealing oneself on screen. It's on every Saturday night. It's called The Masked Singer. Am I right, gang? I'm not referring to that dodgy footage online. I haven't seen it. Do you want to talk about that, or shall I shut up?
When you're describing it, you're doing this movement with your hand, which is weirdly exactly what I did on the video.
No! You're a good man.
Yeah,
You're a
it's
good
fine.
Joel, you're a good man with a lovely penis.
The funny part of it that I think is really great is that basically I was catfished, if you don't know, and apparently they catfished lots of different people. And in fact, one person that they catfished, they made a Channel 4 documentary about it, and this documentary interviewed me. And this guy, he went, so you were catfished by these people that I was catfished with. And this interview was like, it took me about sort of 18 months of communication with them to finally trust them enough to have Skype sex with them. And they went, Joel, how long was it before you trusted them and you had Skype sex with them? I had to look him right in the eye and just go, 20 minutes. It's like 20 minutes. That's true. That is absolutely true.
I'm actually genuinely excited about this. It's time for the mystery guest to reveal themselves. Mystery guest, come on out, please. Who are you?
It is.
I didn't realise they would have quite such a scarring effect on
I
me.
am so sorry. I am so sorry.
Come on, bring one in. Come on, Norton.
What a treat.
So nice to meet you, Nance.
Thanks.
Now, off you go. No, I didn't. I shouldn't. I thought no, guys. No, Norton, I must apologise. No, guys. I must apologise. I do a really annoying thing. You saw me do it earlier. I called Dommett Derms. I called you Nance. It was wrong. So listen,
Not nonce,
Norton.
nonce.
Nance. It was Nance. It was Nance.
Yeah.
Now, Naunton. Please tell me you're from Taunton, Naunton.
No, I'm from Naunton.
What? What? How does that work, Nonon?
I was a sort of Brooklyn Beckham of the 1960s.
You were conceived in Naunton!
Correct.
Oh, I should be called Graveyard.
Right, Rod's doings, describe.
Best not to describe in too much detail, but I do remember the incident remarkably well.
Of course you bloody do. It must have been scarring.
Well, it was our first true Welsh celebrity coming to hire, you know.
Can I just ask, just one
on, Rob.
question? One, if I've got time, one
it's
very brief
the email.
question.
The email again.
I've got one query over the invoice. It's the toilet emptying £50.
Yeah. I actually offered that you could do it, and you said no. And I said, well, I'll do it for you for 50 quid.
Oh, did you?
And you went, fair enough.
More, Naunton.
I know, I think he got away lightly. Because he was in no fit state to deal with that shit.
Naunton, thank you very much for enduring that pain for a second time. What a nice man. Can I just
I'm just wondering, you know, Naunton's where he's conceived. Where does the Dickens come from?
That's how he got conceived.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Twins. Oh, Tanya.
I was at secondary school and there were these twins that came in year 9 and they had bowl cuts. And back then we had that movie where the twins were murderers. Anyway, so you had... I don't know, I just took a disliking to them. And one day in PE, what I did was I just hid one shoe.
One of the 4 shoes.
One of the 4 shoes. So there was one twin with shoes and one twin without a shoe. And to this day, I know it's bad, but I find that shit hilarious.
Do you know something? We had twins in our class. I've suddenly remembered this. This is quite unforgivable, actually. I'm going to call them Lee and Lloyd, because that's what they were called. Lee and Lloyd, I was going out with both of them.
They must have known.
Oh, my God.
And then... Cut to the mid-90s, my mum phones me up and she goes, oh, darling, Lee and Lloyd are doing awfully well, aren't they? Have you seen? They're number 1. And I said, Mum, that's Noel and Liam. Anyway, I'm going to put the twins away now. Small kettle. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Guys, we know what this is going to be. He'll have wanked into the kettle, and then that's it. End of this bit. Come on, Joel, just keep it coming.
Yes!
I once was in the staff room again. And I thought I was dead by my friends. That I thought it'd be really funny if I urinated in the staff room kettle. I know. This is horrific. How am I on primetime Saturday night television?
Well, Savile was on for ages, wasn't he?
But, yeah, and I did it, and I was like, and then I just had this wave of regret. So I went to Argos, and I bought the same kettle, and I replaced it. And so I tried to do like a prank. In the end, I just ended up buying the school a new kettle.
My story is actually rather sad. Prepare to cry. It was my 50th birthday, and I was booking, you know, a venue for it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have one in London, one in Australia with all my family and my Australian friends. So I went to book a place called Fort Denison, which is in the middle of Sydney Harbour. And it wasn't available for the date that I required. And I said, oh, that's a real disappointment. But they said, well, it is actually booked by a bride on the Saturday, but you can have it on the Sunday. I said, my friends can't come on the Sunday because we're all flying up to Queensland for the after party. And...
3 birthdays,
I know,
Craig.
darling. Well, you only turn 50 once, twice or 3 times. They said there is a bride that's having her wedding on the Saturday. We can ring her and see if she wouldn't mind changing the date. And bless her, she changed the date, which was fantastic. So she booked it for the Sunday for her wedding, and I booked it for the Saturday, which was great. Arrive on the boat, brilliantly hot, sunny, gorgeous, 28 degrees, outdoor entertainment, all of that, absolutely gorgeous.
Had you rolled your sleeve up just 3
Well, I went
quarters
as
of
a
the way?
naval officer.
You know how I feel about uniform.
I know that. I should have invited you. And one little blue pill. And the next day, I was looking out over the harbour thinking, oh, that lovely bride's having her wedding today. Isn't that great? Thank you so much. And then suddenly, a huge, dark cloud.
No!
Yeah. And literally, the thunderstorm that ensued was unbelievable. They closed the harbour bridge. It absolutely pissed down the plane for hours, for the whole afternoon. And I was sat there looking at that poor little island being saturated, and I felt so sorry for her. But you know what? At least my day wasn't ruined. You know...
Staff room. Ringing any buzzing bells?
I think this is me.
Oh, Joel, does it involve a Nazi?
No, it does involve my penis.
Oh, my God. Here we go.
Here we go. Come on.
When I first found my penis... you know when you find
Where
it...
was it? In a drawer?
I used to masturbate in weird places. We were doing a school play, and we were sort of rehearsing it during, like, a half-term or something, and so there was no teachers in. And so once, I just went and I did it in the staff room. I used to do it in the loft, because my mum was scared of heights, so it was the only place I knew she wouldn't be. Well done. So I'd just go straight up, straight to the insulation. If anything, I was making the house warmer.
I see you so differently now.
Again, I'm going to say this out of my mouth. I don't think I've ever said it aloud before.
Say it, you can
it's
say it.
always an issue. But I used to... I used to kneel down next to the side of my bed, and I used to lift up the mattress because it was the perfect height of where my penis was between the bedding and the mattress. Just wrap kitchen roll, and then I used to hump my bed, and it used to bruise my dick so bad. And so I had to always wait at least another sort of week before I did it again.
I'm sorry, team.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That bonging means you are that much closer to being crowned unforgivable. Excellent stuff.